Okay, I've already recorded this video 3 times, and it's gonna be a long video, so this is really frustrating me. First, my phone had an error on the monitor and messed up. Second time, it did it again, and it wouldn't connect to the GoPro. Third time, there was an SD card error on the GoPro, and it corrupted the whole file after I had managed to complete it. At least the other 2 times, I only got like 30 seconds in. Anyway, uh, today's been a very long day, and this is not helping. It's been a good day, but this is kind of ruining it, having to do this again. Anyway, I left work early. I usually get off about 3:30. I left about 1:30. Went straight over to the Portland Trailblazers Hotel, and I don't feel like telling this story again, but I got the rookie, Jake Layman, while he was out talking to his girlfriend and her family. Got Mason Plumlee, Ed Davis, Alan Crabb rookie card, CJ McCollum rookie card. I've never seen him sign. I've never gotten him in person, but I did get him certified. I pulled one. And somebody else I've never gotten, DAMIAN Lillard. Try to do it at an angle there so you can see the signature. It's actually a pretty nice signature. I signed it in silver though, but it came out alright. As long as I take care of the card, it won't smudge or anything. And luckily for me, the team came out early, and they were gone earlier than usual. I left, went a couple of blocks down to a concert venue, and this CD I've had since I was 15. I've had this CD for 15 years, and it feels like I've spent 15 years trying to record this video about it. I got it signed by, it's Mudvayne, LD50, a heavy metal band. LD50 is the name of the album. I got it signed when I was a kid by the bassist and the drummer. Real name's Ryan, real name's Matt, but back then they were going by stage names, and every time a new album came out they had different names. Anyway, today the band HellYeah is in town, and the singer is Chad Gray, who I got him to sign it there. I got there, was probably waiting around for about 10 minutes. He had already left the venue. He was going out to eat or something and signed for everybody there. And when he came back, he signed again for me. So that was pretty cool. And we're waiting around for a while, and everybody was hungry, and I needed to charge my phone. It's actually charging right now. That might be part of the issue of why it keeps messing up the video. And we went to a pizza parlor just next door pretty much, and we came out, the other group of regular graphers, we looked across the street to where they were, and all their stuff was still on the sidewalk. You know, all their bags and stuff like that. It was all there, but none of them were around. So we knew something was up, and we tried to find them. When we did find them, Vinnie Paul was signing autographs. And Vinnie Paul, I don't even remember if I explained this in this video already or not. I've already said it like 5 times. But Vinnie Paul was the original drummer from Pantera. He was in Damageplan. Now he's with HellYeah. He was signing. Managed to get there just in time to get the CD signed by him, Vinnie Paul. It's just a CDR. You've probably seen what I do with these. I frame them with photos or CD covers. And he was there. I think I went a little bit out of order here because I'm confusing myself now. But anyway, I guess a little bit before Vinnie Paul, before we went to eat, not the opening band, but the band that was playing before HellYeah was a band called Vimmic, and the drummer from Vimmic is Joey Jordison, who is from Slipknot, and he's a big-time drummer. He's one of the greatest heavy metal drummers out there. He came out and he signed, but I didn't even know he was going to be there, actually. I'd never heard of the band that he's with now, so I didn't have anything for him. I was gonna try to get him on a blank CD like that, but another friend of mine there had a stack of photos. He said if I got a couple of them done for him, I could keep one. So we're there, but the security and everything was trying to rush him, get him on the bus for an interview, and they only let him sign one for me. And since it wasn't my photo, I gave it back to my friend. Anyway, that and the reason they were rushing him. Well, I'll get to that later. Anyway, I had an errand to run. I left the area, and I'd gotten Vinnie Paul, got Chad Gray. Those were actually the two main ones I wanted, but I really wanted to get Joey, and so I went and ran the errand. When I came back, everybody was gone. There was nobody there. I didn't know what was going on. I was calling, texting people, trying to figure out what was happening, and I finally ran into one of them, who was actually going into the show, and he said. Security came out to everybody that was gathered around. There's probably 10 people total trying to get autographs from him. And security explained to them all that their security was really tight. Somebody had made death threats against Joey. So they were trying to keep everything clear, you know, all that. So they worked out a deal. If everybody would clear the area and leave, they would take them all one-on-one, one at a time onto Joey's bus to meet him and get autographs. So, I mean, the tighter security and stuff like that, everybody going one-on-one, it really worked into everybody's favor. So, of course, I wasn't there for that. And so I missed out on that. And everybody was going to the concert, actually, which is really unusual. Most people just go get autographs and go home. So I was talking to my friend there, we were leaving, and he happened to know somebody there who was working for the show, and they hooked me up with a ticket, so I got to go in with everybody else. And we enjoyed the show. Afterwards, we went out and we were waiting outside. Well, actually, during the show, another friend of mine in there who he had a couple of these. He had a stack of them. He gave one to me. It was the first album from HellYeah, already signed by almost all of the original members. He had gotten this signed a couple years ago and was carrying them in case somebody wanted one, because it's signed by a couple of guys who weren't there anymore. The ironic thing is, the one guy that's missing from this album is also the same guy that's missing from this album. So, which his name is Greg Trevette. So I need to get him on both of these at some point, if it's possible. Which a lot of guys, once they leave a band, they don't like to sign them for their stuff anymore. Anyway, where was I? Okay, that was during the show. After the show, we went out. We were waiting by the stage exit and everything. They pulled up an SUV for Vinnie Paul. And if you know anything about heavy metal history, you know why security was so tight. Vinnie Paul's brother and the guitarist for Pantera, Dimebag Darrell, was murdered on stage during a concert. So when somebody's threatening to do the same thing to Joey Jordison with Vinnie Paul and other people who were there that night in attendance, they're not going to mess around. They're going to take it seriously. So Vinnie is ordinarily a really nice guy, and he'll sign everything you have, take pictures. But after the show, he was gone. He jumped in the car and took off. Chad Gray came out, the singer, signed a couple, but he was also following Vinnie, so he had to leave in a hurry too. And that was pretty much all we were waiting for. I had assumed that since Joey was in one of the earlier acts that he would already be on the bus and gone as well. But so we were leaving and we're hanging out on waiting for a couple of friends of ours who were talking to the Joey's managers or something like that. And while we were standing there waiting for him, talking to him, I didn't recognize him at first. I just noticed this guy walk right by us on the street, and it was Joey. He had actually gone out the front of the venue instead of on the side where all the crowds were. He was trying to avoid the crowd, so he waited till everybody left and went out the front, and he walked right by us. And with all the security issues and stuff going on, we didn't want to bum rush him or anything like that and get anybody panicked, so we just let him walk by. And his manager took him to talk to our friends, and they actually got a couple more things signed and had a long conversation with them. And just seeing it, you could see how cool of a guy Joey is. And the manager, in the meantime, came over to us. I guess for the security issues, they were trying to move us along. And I asked him if it would be at all, because since I hadn't gotten Joey for myself, I asked him if it would be at all possible for him to maybe, or for somebody, or somehow to get maybe me go over there and meet him or whatever. And he asked me what I had, and I showed him the blank CDs, and he said, you know, he didn't really think it was a good idea, but he said he would see what he could do. So after a while, after Joey was done and everything, I see him walk up to Joey and take something out of his pocket and ask Joey to sign it. So I mean, he was actually trying to get the autograph for me, which was really cool. I didn't catch the guy's name. I really should have. And he asked Joey to sign something. You can hear Joey saying he didn't want to sign for him because they were friends. Like, it was a big joke. It was funny. And he eventually did sign it, and the guy brought it back to me, and it was this. It's signed in red there. You can't really make it out on the camera, but Joey's got a really awesome signature, and this looks cool. It's actually the backstage pass. Unfortunately, it wasn't any good when he gave it to me, so I couldn't. Not that it would matter anyway. I was practically backstage anyway. But that's awesome. It's got the date on it. I'm gonna eventually frame it with the ticket stub, and probably with the Vinnie Paul autograph too. And anyway, after all that was said and done, and we were leaving, a friend of mine who was taken to meet Joey after the show, he'd also been hooked up with this, and he let me have it since he's actually the same guy I had gotten Joey for earlier in the day, so he let me have this. And this is the set list for HellYeah, which eventually, I mean, they seem to come every year or so I'll be able to get this signed eventually myself, hopefully. If not, I'm going to frame it with the backstage pass and the CD and the ticket stub, and that will probably look pretty awesome all framed together. I might even frame it with this CD too, with the CD cover anyway. But yeah, I mean, that was a lot of stuff. It was a long day. It is after 2 a.m. now, and I'm doing this video, so as far as the autographs go, it's been about a 12-hour day, which I don't usually spend that much time trying to do anything. But I might be forgetting something. I might have gotten something else. I think I got it all done. I think I covered everything here. So basketball-wise, it was a great day, and music-wise, it was a great day. So maybe I'll do an update like I did with my Tony Bennett stuff once I get everything framed. But yeah, that's a pretty good day, and that's all I got for now. So.